everybody, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and thank you for joining me for another week of live step-by-step paper crafting. I hope you all had an amazing 2 weeks. We actually did not meet together last week. Sorry, there's some truck outside, and of course as soon as I hit live, my dogs decide, just to go crazy. So I apologize for that. Now let me make sure that I'm live here on Facebook so that I can follow along with your comments. If you're watching me, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know that you're joining me this week. It's always fun to see where everybody is joining me from, and it's great that you can follow along with me live. If you're watching here on my replay via YouTube or here on Facebook, make sure to comment and let me know that you were able to join me and get together this week for some Christmas paper crafting. I can't believe it's already Christmas to start thinking about paper crafting for Christmas. Now is the time to make your Christmas projects so that when the rush of the holiday season comes, you will be calm, cool, and collective because your paper crafting for Christmas will be complete. So today I kick off my first week of my Christmas countdown for paper crafting series for this holiday season. And I'm gonna feature a stamp set from the July through December mini catalog, which is perfect for easy and simple cards. All right, so like I said, I hope you guys had a great 2 weeks. Last week we didn't meet because I had attended an air show that they had here on base on Sunday last week, and man, I was just exhausted after that. So it was just, I needed a little break. So it was great to have some downtime and to recuperate for the week and be able to jump back into Makers Monday this week. So last week was our Stampin' Up! On Stage, which is our convention that we have 2 times a year. And I was blown away to receive multiple awards over the past year for Stampin' Up! I received out of levels 1 through 4, with 4 being the highest. I received a level 2 recognition in sales, level 3 recognition in team building, and level 3 recognition in leadership. Now, I just found out today, I haven't even posted it yet on Facebook, but out of 42,024 US demonstrators, I ranked number 111. So I cannot believe.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
My phone, my watch just scared me. Let's turn that off. I don't know why it just decided to do that. But okay, so out of 42,024 demonstrators in the entire United States, I ranked number 111. To know that I am in the top 0.26% of Stampin' Up!, I am just absolutely blown away. And I could not have done this without my amazing Stampin' Blondie team and my customers. I don't know what to say. Thank you. To know that I do this as a second full-time job. This is actually, I have a day job where I work for the government during the day as a military federal worker, and then Stampin' Up! Is my second full-time job. So to rank 111 out of 42,000 demonstrators in the United States, I mean, wow. I cannot believe that. So with all my heart, thank you. That's all I can say is thank you. Thank you so much for supporting me along this journey and allowing me to be able to bring you some fun paper crafting each week. So thank you, Carol. Thank you, Cindy, Billy, Joan. It's really great to see that you guys were able to be here with me today as I share this amazing news. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some fun announcements before I get started with our class projects today. Now, as a reminder, I always have what I call Prize Patrol. So each week, Prize Patrol, it's very easy. All you have to do is share my video to be entered in to this week's Prize Patrol and comment that you shared, and that's it. It's very simple. Sometimes Facebook doesn't always let me know when you have shared, so make sure to comment share after you do it, just so that I can enter you into Prize Patrol. So 2 weeks ago, because we didn't meet last week, our Prize Patrol was the seasonal labels dies. Now these are in our July through December mini catalog, and our winner for that was Tammy. So I know she's here in Tucson. I'm not sure, sometimes she watches replay, but congratulations, Tammy. You are our Prize Patrol winner from 2 weeks ago. So congratulations, and I can't wait to get this to you. You also have your order has arrived, so I'll just put it together and I will get that to you out in the mail. All right, next up, my November Holiday Card Club. Tomorrow is the final deadline to register for this last Christmas card class of the year. So from August, September, October, November, we've been making Christmas cards each month, and the deadline to register for this is tomorrow. So this says October, but really it's November. It was October when I made this flyer. So November 16th, tomorrow, is the deadline for Holiday Card Club. Now this is a in-person and virtual event. So in person is November 30th here in Tucson, December 1st virtually if you are not here local to me. We will be creating using the Penguin Playmates stamp set, and I wanted to show you guys the projects that we're going to be creating. So you get a little sneak peek here on the flyer, but we are going to show you here the projects. So these are the cards that we will be creating. Aren't they super cute? And look at this one. It has a really fun, kind of different fold to it. So it is going to be a lot of fun. So this is our last Holiday Card Club for the year. And then we will be moving on to other projects. But register deadline is tomorrow. It's $25 for the in-person, $35 for virtual. The $35 includes shipping, so that's what that covers. And you go home with $15 in products to take home for further crafting. So I'm really excited. You make 6 projects, 2 each of the 3 designs that I just showed you. And the link to register for this will be in the description of this video once I'm done here tonight. So final deadline for our last Holiday Card Club is tomorrow. So looking forward to creating with that. Now, also, starting tomorrow is Stampin' Up's seasonal sale. This is a great time to stock up on ink pads, cardstock, and dies, all from the annual catalog. 10% off of cardstock, 15% off of ink pads. Now this does not include third-party ink pads, so StazOn, Memento, Versamark, those are not included, but our core colors of our ink colors, brights, regals, subtles, neutrals, all of those 50 ink pads will be on sale tomorrow through the 18th. And 20% off of dies. Now these are dies that are not included in bundles. So just the alone bundle or dies, but you can add on the stamp set just to order that bundle if that's what you were wanting. 10% off of cardstock now is the perfect time to stock up on your Whisper White, your basic black, or sorry, not Whisper White, it's now basic white. Basic white, basic black, very vanilla, any cherry cobbler or garden green that you need for Christmas crafting. Now is that time. I am going to stock up on my basic white. I go through so much basic white, and now is that perfect time to stock up on those. 15% off ink pads, and then 20% off of dies. Now, if you are looking for an even better savings than that, now is the time to join the Stampin' Blondie team. From now until the 30th, we are running a special where it is for $75, you get $125 worth of your choice of product. But if you sign up tomorrow through the 18th, you can extend your savings even more with 10% off cardstock, 15% off bundle or ink pads, and 20% off dies. So you get to choose $125 worth of your product of choice, $75 free shipping, And you get 20 to 25% off any future order. There is no requirement to sell, teach classes, host events. You can purchase for yourself with the discount. About 98% of our Stampin' Blondie team, we have a nationwide team, are what we call happy shoppers. So they purchase items just for themselves. So if you are interested, if you've ever thought about joining the Stampin' Blondie team, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday are the best days to do that. So you get $125 worth of product, $75, and you can combine it with a seasonal sale. Now we have a great time on the Stampin' Blondie team. I support you no matter what type of demonstrator you want to be. Do you want to teach classes? Awesome. Do you not want to teach classes? I'm there too. So we have an amazing team. We do a lot of fun events, and I support both in person and virtually, whatever type of demonstrator you want to be. So if you are interested in joining my team or you have questions, please reach out to me. There will be a link in the description of this video about joining our team and what our team entails. We have an amazing group of ladies across the nation, and I love getting together with them, our Stampin' Blondie Stampers. Okay, last up is just a reminder, I shared this 2 weeks ago, but the Eden's Garden products are still available. The limited edition items that are while supplies last, the Eden Garden 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper, and the Garden Gems. These are beautiful. They've got like cherry cobbler and like marquee shaped. These two items are while supplies last, and the stamp set and dies are carrying over to the January through June mini catalog, which I got a sneak peek of, and I cannot wait to bring you some fun classes in the new year with these products. I got a sneak peek of Celebration as well, and it's right up my alley. I'm so excited. Bright, bold projects. I can't wait to share these with you. Oh, thank you, Connie. I'm thrilled to have you on our team as well. I hope you're enjoying your time with us. All right, so today I'm featuring 2 projects using the Be Jolly stamp set. Now, I forgot I announced our Prize Patrol winner, but I didn't say what our Prize Patrol was for this week. So this week's Prize Patrol, now this is a full package that you'll receive. I just pulled 2 sheets out of it. It's a package of the rose gold and gold 6x6 metallic paper. Now this is featured in our annual catalog. It's kind of a hidden gem in there. It's on the specialty paper page, and you receive 8 sheets, 4 of each color, and the back is white. So it is a little bit of a thicker paper, but it's still, you can see, very flexible. It doesn't flake off at all, or I wouldn't have any of this in my craft room. But rose gold and gold 6x6 designer series paper is our Prize Patrol for this week. All you have to do is share this video and comment that you shared, and you'll be entered to win our Prize Patrol of the week. Okay, Be Jolly stamp set. This is in our July through December mini catalog. It's on page 29 right here. Now it does not have dies to go with it. It's not brightly featured in our catalog, so it may have been a stamp set that you have overlooked, but these little dancing Santas are the cutest. So this past weekend, I held my very first in-person retreat, which was so much fun. We gathered together, we created projects, and we ate and just enjoyed each other's company. But an add-on class that I did featured the Be Jolly stamp set, and 2 of the projects that I'm creating for you today were in our add-on class. So let me grab the projects and I can show you guys what we're going to be making today. Now these are 2 simple projects that feature the Be Jolly stamp set, and you can actually recreate this one. Well, you could do this one as well, but this one is a really easy layout to recreate with another stamp set. If you don't have Be Jolly, and maybe you've been following along with my videos lately, I did one a couple weeks ago with the Seasons of Fun stamp set. So here's the same layout, different stamp set. So if you don't have Be Jolly, you can easily swap this layout, just kind of move some things around. But here was the Seasons of Fun stamp set. Let me get that in the frame so you guys can see. Very easy to swap this layout out for a different stamp set, and you can still use it no matter what you have in your craft supply. So our first project, we're gonna work on this one, and then our Sahara Sand will be our second one. Now each week I have a free project PDF on my website, stampinblondie.com. This has all of the item names, item numbers, prices, and at the bottom, the dimensions for the two projects that we're gonna create today. So it's the first post right on my website today, posted about 6 o'clock this morning. So this is a free download. You can pair this project PDF with this video to be able to complete the projects that we will be making today. Now, if you are not in the mood to cut your own paper and you want the kit provided to you, you can use my host code and shop this week. Place a $35 order on my website and I will send you the project pieces in the mail for free. Now, the only thing that won't be included are the stamped images. I'm not able to send stamped images through the mail in accordance with Stampin' Up. So you can just buy this with your $35 shopping spree, or you can substitute for whatever stamps that you have in your craft supply. All right, let's get started. Our Evening Evergreen card is up first. And we have a piece of Evening Evergreen cardstock, 5.25 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. And I'm gonna use my bone folder to crisp up my line here. Like I said, all the dimensions for this are on that free PDF, so you don't have to write anything down. A piece of basic white cardstock, 4.25 by 5.25. And we are going to use our Stampin' Seal adhesive to glue this down to our cardstock base. Right in the middle there. That little Santa is cute. Now, which one? We have the dancing one and this one that's kind of like, look at me, I'm Santa. I like them both. I think the little dancing guy is cute, and when you color them in with Stampin' Blends, they just come to life even more. All right, 3 pieces of designer series paper. Now this is the, let me find my paper, I just had it, here it is. This is the Tidings of Christmas 6x6 designer series paper. This is actually from our annual catalog. We have one Christmas paper every year in our annual catalog, so this is the one that we have this year. Key colors in this one are Cherry Cobbler, Evening Evergreen, Misty Moonlight, Sahara Sand, and Soft Succulent. So 3 in colors are featured in this designer series paper, and it's 6x6. So perfect for creating just little sample pieces of designer series paper for your backgrounds. All right, so these are 3 pieces at, let me get my notes out here, 1 5/8 by 3 3/4. Now what I wanna do first is I wanna line everything up on my card prior to gluing it down. This will ensure that my spacing is exactly where I want it. And when you have it exactly how you want it laid down, then one by one, I'm gonna come in with liquid glue and I'm going to glue these down. Now I choose liquid glue over Stampin' Seal because if while I'm placing these onto my card, it's not exactly where I want it, it has a little bit of time and you can shift and shimmy your card or your designer series paper because the liquid glue needs a few seconds to bond the fibers of the paper together. So we're going to place that right in the middle here. And then our last piece of designer series paper. I love this paper because it's kind of a muted Christmas paper. It's not as bright as, you know, if you had real red, garden green, granny apple green, it's kind of a muted paper. So while it still has great patterns to it, it's just not as bright. And you want the main focus of this to be the Santa on the project. All right, basic white cardstock. This is cut with our layering circles dies. There's 16 dies in that package, and this is actually one of the die sets that you can get for 20% off starting tomorrow. You get scalloped circles and regular circles in the kit or the die set, so it's great basic dies if you're looking for if you're a beginner stamper and you aren't too sure about what die set to get. Circles, you can't go wrong with circles. All right, since we're gonna color him in with Stampin' Blends, we're gonna be using our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. If you've watched my videos for a while, I do the stinky versus non-stinky, so you know exactly which black to use. So sorry, I had to pull that a little closer to me so I could stamp it right in the middle. Memento ink is not stinky. Our Stampin' Blends that we are going to use are alcohol-based markers, so they are stinky. So that's how you know which black to use when you're working with Stampin' Blends. Now we have the whole rainbow of Stampin' Blends here today. We're gonna start off with Cherry Cobbler, and because I'm using Stampin' Blends, I want to make sure my workspace is covered because it can bleed through the paper. So this is the dark Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends. These are very, very easy to use. If you've never used Stampin' Blends, they come in a light and a dark marker. They're meant to be blended together, but you can use them individually as well, like I am here on Santa. Because some of his product or his clothes are, it's like tiny places to color in, I'm not going to be blending the colors together. So I just want to use one color to color this in. But if you're really feeling adventurous, you can try to blend those two together. So just right in there. His pants are red. And there's that. Next, we're gonna use basic black. Now, you may be saying to yourself, how do you have a light and a dark black? So it's just a variation of darkness. This is the dark black. And so we're just gonna color in his belt. Again, I'm not gonna be using the light and the dark because this is just such a small area. There really wouldn't be much to blend in there. Coloring his boots and his gloves. And you can see it just really brings Santa to life when you color him in. All right, next is the Ivory Stampin' Blends. So these actually come in a package together. You have an ivory and a bronze. So this is a it's $9 package together. Normally you have a light and a dark color, but ivory and bronze are perfect for blending together to create different skin tones. Now I'm just gonna use the ivory because again, this is not a very big area to try blending colors together, but you can use whatever ivory or bronze for coloring Santa in. Dark Daffodil Delight for his little buckle. And around the outside of his, or key points on his beard, I'm just gonna use light smoky slate, and this is just gonna kind of give some definition to the beard. I mean, we all know that Santa has like a big white beard, but giving it some gray in there makes it give it some dimension to it. So that is our Stampin' Blends Santa Claus. Okay, and that's why you want to cover up your workspace. The more you blend, the more it bleeds through the paper, and so you definitely want to make sure your workspace is covered while using Stampin' Blends. We're going to adhere Santa Claus with Stampin' Dimensionals. I mean, it can't be a Stampin' Blondie project without Stampin' Dimensionals. And of course, we're going to use Wink of Stella too, because that is a Stampin' Blondie must as well. Now I have a piece of soft succulent cardstock, and we're gonna stamp the A Merry Hello using Evening Evergreen. Now, Evening Evergreen ink on soft succulent paper just makes that color stand out even more. It's the perfect dark color to soft succulent. So we're just gonna stamp this. I'm gonna bring it closer. I know it's out of frame, but I just wanna make sure that it's all lined up here. There we go. Blushing Bride is great for skin tones too. Yes, I think Blushing Bride it's supposed to be a pink, but it's kind of a brown pink. I mean, it goes great with things, but it depends on what you want to use it for. If you're looking for a true pink though, Petal Pink is where it's at for the light. Now for my previous project, I had enough room to be able to cut the end at an angle. This one I don't, so I'm just going to tuck in. I used liquid glue here to tuck my sentiment under my Santa Claus. And then we've got a 8-inch piece. This is the Evening Evergreen. This is it, the chevron ribbon, chevron weave ribbon. So 8 inches of this, and that we're going to trim the edges because at an angle because they do tend to fray just a little bit. Okay, throw that away. Now I like to use mini glue dots on this because you don't have a wait time for anything to dry. So mini glue dots with your take your pick tool right onto the project. And then that final touch, Wink of Stella. We're gonna put Wink of Stella, if you're not familiar with what Wink of Stella is, it is a liquid glitter brush. You don't have to wait for glitter to be all over your craft room while using this. So it's just a brush that you paint onto your project. And the best thing about it is that it's buildable. So if the first layer you put on and you're like, man, I want it more shiny and shimmery than that, you can just build it and build it. And that is our first project featuring the Be Jolly stamp set. Let me know what you guys think of this. With that Stampin' blends, coloring that in, and the Wink of Stella, it's the perfect, easy Christmas card that you can mass produce for the holiday season while you're watching TV. You can just cut all your designer series paper, glue it down, color all your Santas in, and you're good to go. So there's our first project. Let me know what you guys think of that one. I love that one. He's super cute. All right, second project. Where did it go? I have the card pieces. Now where'd the card? Here it is. Now with our second project, now I use the Be Dazzling paper from Celebration. If you don't have the Be Dazzling paper, that's okay. We are gonna use the gold metallic paper that is in the annual catalog. So you can use Be Dazzling if you still have some of that left over from Celebration, but we are gonna use the metallic gold from the annual catalog. Now I used Be Dazzling on this because this was one of the add-on classes for my retreat last weekend, and they got a full package of Be Dazzling paper in their goodie bag. So they were able to use that on their projects as well. All right, this is 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Sahara sand cardstock. I don't use Sahara sand as much as I should. I tend to gravitate towards crumb cake. I feel like crumb cake is like the perfect neutral, but sometimes Sahara sand needs a little bit of love as well. So we have our piece of grid paper that I'm just bringing in here because we're going to do some stamp off. With the little sled, we are going to stamp tone on tone. If you aren't too familiar with what tone on tone is, it is using the same color ink pad as your cardstock. So very, very easy to do, tone on tone. I cleaned all of my clear blocks yesterday, and after the retreat, they were a little dirty, so I had a whole bathroom sink full of clear blocks. Now, if you have never cleaned your clear blocks before, the best way to do it, Dawn dish soap, just in a sink, and then you can easily, I just let them soak all afternoon and I didn't have to do any scrubbing or anything. All right, we are stamping our sled here in just a variation pattern. I started in the upper left, went across, and then where these two in the middle met is where my next piece of sled went. And then we do the same thing as we work our way across this one. There we go. This is a great way to create your own background designer series paper. You can create fun and easy projects with doing your own backgrounds. All right, so we have our designer series paper that we created ourselves, and we're just going to glue that down to our card base with Stampin' Seal. I'm using Stampin' Seal because before dropping it on my card, you don't really need to make sure that it's movable, but as long as you have it all lined up, then you are good to go. Just don't drop it on your project, and then hopefully you can peel it off like I did. All right, so like I mentioned, I used a piece of Bedazzling cardstock or designer series paper. We are going to be using that gold shimmer paper. This is that specialty paper, and I'm going to be using Stampin' Seal on this because it has the white, like slick background of the paper. You don't want to use liquid glue because it would take forever to dry. It just doesn't really have anything to absorb that liquid glue into, so Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus is perfect for these like glossy white backed designer series papers. Piece of basic white cardstock. This is going to be our just scratch paper for stamping, and this time we're going to do the same Santa that we did before, and the sled is going to be in our memento as well, and we're going to fussy cut this one out. So our memento ink. Now this, while I said earlier they don't have any dies to go along with this, they're very, very easy to fussy cut. So you don't have to worry about, are these hard to cut out? They're very simple. They're rounded shapes, so you can easily fussy cut these items out. All right, coming in with our scissors, but I'm gonna color in our designs first, and then I'm gonna cut. Just for me, it's easier to do it that way. If you prefer to cut then color, you can do that too, but I just like having the bigger space to hold on to. All right, this one we're gonna be using Soft Succulent, Dark and Light. Our dark color is gonna go on our present here. And you can see how quick and easy it is to color in with our Stampin' Blends. Our light Soft Succulent is gonna go on the stripe here. This time we're gonna use the light Daffodil Delight. Last time we used the dark. Oh, I need to order a new one of these. So we're just gonna use the brush end, or the tip end, and it still works just as well. There we go. Our light Cherry Cobbler, last time we used the dark. This light one's gonna go on our bow here. And with these smaller images, oops, you can use the tip side or you can use the brush and get onto the present like I did. That's okay. But this little teeny tiny heart, we're going to use the tip end. Just easier to control the coloring there. And we're gonna use the bronze on this sled. So we use both the light and the dark versions on both of our cards today so that you guys could see how both of these are used independently without their dark counter or light counterpart to be blended together. So here we go. All right, Santa. We're gonna color him just like our last one. We're gonna use dark, I need to order a new cherry cobbler too. Dark cherry cobbler. I have my order going in tomorrow for pre-order for the new January catalog. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna add some of these Stampin' Blends because I use them a lot. Okay, color in Santa's outfit. And you can see adding the color just really makes the image come to life. I mean, you could still stamp a black and white Santa. There's nothing wrong with that. But coloring in really just makes it pop even more. So there we go. Okay. Our ivory for his face. Let me find it. Right in here. Oh, you know what? I forgot to color in the ears of the last guy. So ivory ears. You don't want Santa to have an ivory face and no color on his ears. Don't forget that. Our black on the mittens, the boots, and the last mitten. Oh, and his belt. And this one, I'm just going, oh, I did the black on the inside. One of them, I just did black the whole way on our other project. Our daffodil, and that's our Santa. And we'll add Stella to him once Santa's on the card. It's just easier to color it in that way, because if it is a little wet, then it'll just dry while it's already placed on the card. So that's my tip. If you're using Stella glitter brush, you'll want to add that once it's already placed onto your card, then you can add the glitter. It does take a few seconds to dry, depending especially on how much you've put onto your card. So with the more glitter you have, of course, it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. But the best part, no loose glitter in your craft room, which is a definite plus for me. All right, so like you can see, he's very easy to fussy cut out. While we wish we had dies for everything, sometimes it's easier to fussy cut. And when I fussy cut, I like to hold my scissors steady, and then I turn my paper with my left hand to get good control of the paper. I like to add a white border around my fussy cut, but your personal preference, you may want to cut right on the line, but I like to give a little bit of white around the image so it kind of does look like it was die cut. And there we go. Now the sled. You could really get in there with scissors to fussy cut that out. I did not. I just went around the edge of the sled. I didn't want to get too detailed, but with your own project, you can get as detailed as you'd like. So around the edges here, up around the presents. Now the presents are easy, square cuts. Very, very easy. Now the bows, I did not get super detailed in those as well. So around here, and then the sled. There we go. Okay, let's put our grid paper out of the way. Get some of these little pieces off our table. Don't want to throw away the sentiment piece. All right, we are gonna use, now I am gonna use liquid glue on the back of this to add that to our card. Now, because this metallic paper does have some texture to it, I think you guys can see that, it's got some texture. So the liquid glue I found to be the best because it can get in those little grooves of the texture paper. I'm only adding glue to the bottom half of my sled. I only want to adhere it to that metallic piece. I don't want it glued to the card base. So this part on top is kind of flapping in the wind, but down here we only want that adhered to the card base. Now Santa is Stampin' Dimensionals, so a couple pieces of dimensional there, and he's gonna go right over top of our presents. Bend the card a little bit. Now our sentiment, same one as our last project. Oh, sorry, no, it was not. No, it is. A Merry Hello. Where is that? Right here. And where's my ink? I put it away. I try to keep everything organized and then I can't find it. You know, that's how it goes. You're like, where is my dimensionals? I just had them. And then they're right in front of your face. So, a Merry Hello here. And that's just gonna go on with liquid glue. I'm using liquid glue because it's so tiny. I mean, if you can get your tape runner in there for adhesive, that's amazing, but I am just gonna use liquid glue because it's a little small, tiny sentiment. Now, I did not add any additional embellishments to this. I wanted that main shimmer and focus to be that strip of gold across the paper, so there's no additional embellishments except our wink of Stella. Now, in this one, I'm gonna color in his Santa hat. So this is just gonna be spotlighted on his hat with a little bit of wink of Stella glitter brush to give that shimmer and shine, but it doesn't take away from the gold of the strip that we have here. All right, so that is our second project today featuring the Be Jolly stamp set. I'll bring in our first project. Let me know which one is your favorite. Do you like the simple one with the designer series paper, or do you like the little shimmer and shine on your project with the gold strip? I think I like them both. I mean, they're a toss-up. They're so different, but I like the pop of gold on the second project. It really makes that stand out from the Sahara sand, but it doesn't take away from the Santa in the foreground of the project. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining me for another week of Makers Monday. I hope you enjoyed our projects as we kick off our Christmas crafting season. Now join me next week as I continue to make Christmas projects, and so you can be all ready for the holiday season before the stress of the season starts off. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next time. Bye!